Hi guys. Okay, so today I am so excited. I am attaching my friend Joe's dread to my hair. Joe started her locks about the same time that I did, and this is super special to me. So I'm going to attach it to this dread. And this is, I would say, like 4 years of growth maybe for me. I have a couple, or maybe three. I have a couple dread markers here. So I two-strand twisted these ones 2 years ago. So this is probably 3 years of growth. So yeah, I'm super excited to be attaching to this. So I cut off and combed out my end, and then back combed it a little bit. Just want it to be nice and fluffy. And Joe combed out the end of hers, so I'm just gonna back comb her top right here so that it gives it a little bit more body and is a little easier for my crochet hook to hold on to, and pull the hairs through my own dread. Hers is super thick and dense. It's so pretty. Her hair is so healthy. Alright, so I'm going to open up the little fluff ball here. I'm going to put mine kind of inside. Sorry about the plane, guys. So just gonna pull a few hairs through this way and then turn it, and pull a few hairs through this way and turn it, and pull a few this way. It's a really slow process, but it's so worth it in the end if you just take your time, and it'll feel like you're almost getting nowhere for like the longest time. So I'm just gonna like close it in my hand and just keep pulling random hairs this way and that way. I'm gonna turn it, close it in, and just keep pulling. And you're going to want to go so much slower than this because you can really hurt yourself with the crochet hook. It is quite sharp, and you really don't want to do any damage to yourself. They can really hurt you. So I'm getting somewhere. And at this point, I'm just going to try to grab a few extra hairs from the center, from where I know mine is, and I'm going to try to pull those out. And I'm sure it's not very easy to see, but I can tell because my hair is a lot lighter than hers. Go back to just making a mess of it. See how it's finally starting to come together? It's still pretty squishy, and it's probably going to stay that way for quite some time. Especially since hers is like 6 years old and mine are like 6.5. It's going to be really, really obvious where the connection site is. And you need to try to remember that this could end up slipping. By slipping, I mean as it matures right here at the connection site, it could thin out a little bit, and that's totally okay. You can always wrap some wool roving around it and wet felt that on with some soap and water, and that will help thicken up the space a little bit. You can use some human hair from a hairbrush, or just chop some off of like a weft or a clip-in and just ball it up and put it around and crochet that on, and that can help stabilize it a little bit more. I don't generally have a problem with slippage because I've been doing this for so long that it's kind of just like second nature for me. If I want to add on one of the dreads that I cut off, it's pretty easy. It usually only takes me like 10 minutes maybe, and I generally will end up wrapping them with some kind of string or hemp, anything that's unwaxed, just so that you don't get any residue in your hair. If you use a wool yarn, it might end up dreading into your hair. If you use acrylic, it would be a lot easier to get out. Cotton will probably stick. I've never used cotton yarn before, but it's pretty much the same thing as cotton string, so I've had that stick. I've had double-sided satin ribbon stick in my hair before, which is really funny because my hair is super smooth. So here's the connection. And I'm probably going to leave the rest of the hairs like this because I like the way that it looks when they start to lay down and cover the dread. It can get a little messy, and sometimes they end up sticking back out for a little while, but in general they just end up laying down, and I much prefer that look as opposed to like an over-maintained kind of look. And that's it. This is how I attach my friend's dreads to my own. I think that I am going to absolutely adore this. I'm so grateful to Joe for sending this to me and doing a trade. I love the length back. It makes me so happy. What do you guys think? I think hers is definitely a little bit thicker than mine, but I love it. Alright, thanks for watching.